Hello, welcome to my tutorial, and today we'll be learning how to make vanilla queen cakes.
This tutorial will teach you step by step how to make vanilla queen cakes. So now let's move on to finding out our ingredients so that we can bake together. First, you will need to preheat your oven. You can preheat your oven by setting it to 180 degrees if it's a fan oven and 200 degrees if it's a regular oven. For your ingredients, you will need 150 grams of self-raising flour, 100 grams of caster sugar, 100 grams of margarine, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, vanilla extract and 2 eggs, and this will be enough to bake 12 queen cakes.
First, we start with our bowl, and we'll be taking our margarine and we'll be taking sugar and we'll be mixing them into the bowl. First, we'll be adding 100 grams of caster sugar into our bowl. We'll then be adding 100 grams of margarine, which I've cut into smaller pieces so it's easier to mix.
We then use a spoon to lightly mix together the margarine and the sugar so that it's easier to use the electric mixer to cream them together. Don't worry if it gets messy, you can clean as you go along, or you can clean everything at the end like I do.
Okay, now we're going to crack our eggs and then add them to the mixture. I like to use a cup for this, it's just easier to add it in. We're going to put in our eggs one at a time. So here's our bowl back. We just pour in the yolk. So we do the same with our second egg and then we pour that into the bowl as well. Now we're going to mix this until it's sort of a creamy texture. Now at this point, after creaming together your sugar and your butter and then adding in your eggs, your mixture should look something like this. It's a creamy texture. Now we will add our flavouring. Usually what I do is I pour the flavouring into the cap as a sort of measurement and add that into our mixture. I add two small measurements of vanilla into my queen cakes. So we just use the cap as our little measurement. So now we add a teaspoon of baking powder into our mixture. The way you're going to mix in your flour is you do it in bits. So first, we'll pour some into the sieve. So we sieve this into our bowl, about half of your mixture. After we've sieved about half of our flour, we begin to mix again. And now we add in the rest of our flour into the sieve. Let me just sieve that again. Now that I've added the rest of my flour, what I like to do is I like to get a spatula and bring it down from the sides, like this. Just so all the mixture's really getting in there. And then we mix again. So as we can see, the mixture is looking a bit thick, so in this case you want to add a little bit of water just to make it a bit thinner, and then we mix again. We then get our spatula again and we take the bits down from the side back into the main mixture. So now we get 2 spoons, one big, one small. We get in our bun tray. So this is a bit where we scoop our mixture into each of the cases. So you use the big spoon to to get the mixture. Okay, like this. And you use a small spoon to scrape it into the cases. Usually with these measurements, if you're doing 12 bun cases, you'll have some mixture left. So we're going to use our spatula to scrape it down from the sides. Now that we have scraped the mixture down from the sides and into the centre of the bowl, we'll use the leftover mixture and fill up the bun cases more, just not to waste any mixture and to have bigger buns, especially if you've underfilled the cases. Like some of these wouldn't have enough mixture like this one here, so we just need to add a bit more mixture to fill it up properly. Now we will take our filled bun liners and we will put them into our preheated oven. If you have a fan oven, it will be preheated at 180 degrees, while if you don't have a fan oven, it will be preheated at 200 degrees. And finally, these are your finished queen cakes. Mine's are a little bit lopsided, but it's because I made use of that extra mixture. It just means there's more queen cake to eat. I'm going to take one and show you what it's meant to look like. So it's this colour here, and we're going to hold down the side of the liner, and it's nice and soft here. I'm going to tear it open and show you what the inside should look like. The inside is nice and soft, and it's sort of yellow, creamy colour. That has been my queen cakes tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and honestly, if I can bake, you definitely can, so just trust yourself. If it gets a bit messy, it gets a bit messy, but as long as you follow the steps, you will get this beautiful outcome, even if they're a little bit lopsided. It just means there was more love put into them. Thank you for watching my tutorial on how to bake vanilla queen cakes.